Hi there, welcome to Island Fly Tarot. I'm going to do a tarot card reading for Aries energy, and we're going to read it from a couple different perspectives because people have free will. Some people harness high vibe Aries energy, some people harness a more worldly focused Aries energy, more driven and inspired by the world and things of the world, and some people harness more shadowy Aries energy. And if you're a high vibe Aries, you'd like to hang out with other people who harness high vibe Aries. And whether you're an Aries sun sign or cross watching for an Aries, we all harness some Aries energy. So listen to your intuition about people in your life and who's harnessing high vibe energy and who might be harnessing some worldly or shadowy energy. Okay. And let's get one more set out. Okay. Well, the overarching reason for the reading is the Hierophant, the King of Pentacles, and the Wheel of Fortune, and the Queen of Pentacles. So the King and Queen of Pentacles, it can mean at work. The Taurus Hierophant can mean about work, but it can also mean about relationships and families. And Taurus energy has to do with our overarching philosophy of life, how we view the world, how we view ourselves, how we view others, how we view relationships, how we view how people should conduct themselves in the workplace. And, it could be the difference between, do you make your life, because the Hierophant, we all have the Hierophant within us. It's kind of our overarching philosophy of life, and it dictates the decisions that we make in life based on how we view life, how we view relationships, how we view other people, how we view ourselves. Some people are all about money and materialism, and that's kind of what makes them happy. And it could be living more from their mind than their heart in the Ten of Swords. And it could be not making their life about love and believing in their dreams. And it's more about operating from their egoic nature and repeating old patterns of the past. So you might know some people like that. High vibe people are people that are bold and brave and confident enough to want to work together with people cooperatively in deep, meaningful relationships. And the feminines in tarot can talk about our emotional state. The masculines in tarot can be how people present themselves in the world and the action that they take. So there's some people who are more motivated emotionally by ego and the world, and they don't really want to do love. They want to try to use their emotions manipulatively to get people to be in relationship with them, but they don't want to have to change, grow, mature, shed any old ways of being. They want to get in a relationship with someone who will repeat a pattern of way of living life based on how they view life. And it is kind of about being more in the relationship because of ego and image and status and money and materialism. And it isn't about people listening to their intuition and wanting for more. Kind of like you give up, if you had dreams of love and growing and maturing yourself in life and facing some of your fears and shedding some of your past pain and heartbreak and self-limiting beliefs to grow and mature yourself, they don't want to be in a relationship with you. They're looking for someone who, why? Because they're kind of stubborn and prideful, and they kind of like to manipulate people to get what they want. It's not about being authentic in a relationship. It's not about trusting your emotions and your intuition to guide you, where you work together with people having hope and faith and belief and love, and you listen to your intuition and love instead of your fear and your insecurity to guide you. There's some people that are really afraid of listening to their intuition because it would require them to be more authentic and more bold and brave and confident than they are. And so that's why in shadowy Leo energy, they kind of hide behind their egoic nature and hope that if they present themselves as like a pillar of society who's stable and secure in the world, that you'll get in a relationship with them and put an end to your dreams, and then they can emotionally manipulate you in a relationship. And shadowy Aries is where it's more about their wants, their needs, their lust, their greed, their pride, their ego, their image, their status, male or female. Some people could think that they have a lot of status and image, or they could think they're good looking, or they think they have a lot of social clout or position or power or influence or something. And for those reasons, they think other people should want to be in a relationship with them. That's how they define their sense of worth and value. It's not about, it's kind of like using the things of the world that they have to get people to be in a relationship with them. Look, I have these things. Don't you want to be a partner with me and work for me? That's great. You just have to put an end to your dreams that I'm going to emotionally grow or mature myself. This is all about working together because, you know, I'm offering you things, these things of the world. And you're supposed to basically do things the way I want you to do it because you want those things of the world. So we all have our dualistic nature. We live in a dualistic world. It's kind of like we're playing out the battle between good and evil in the world. And our shadow nature and shadowy energies represented by the devil, and our high vibe nature and love and life giving energies represented by the divine. And the devil in shadowy Capricorn energy is represented by the devil in the world. I'm going to offer you these things. This is how I define my worth and value. This is why I think people should want to be in a relationship. This is how I make what I make my life about. And I don't want to do life any differently. So, do you want to be in a relationship with me or not? There's other people who don't make their worth and value based on what they own and what they wear, or how much money they have, or how attractive they are, or how much social clout they have. They're people who've put in work and effort to grow and mature themselves, and they're good employees, good business leaders, good partners, good parents, because they're emotionally mature people. And they're people who are willing to go with the flow, which means they've emotionally grown and matured themselves. And in the Nine of Cups, it isn't about indulging in the world and living more from their mind than their heart. It's about knowing how to fill their own cup so they're emotionally independent of their more egoic, animalistic, base, immature, emotionally defensive, prideful, egotistical nature. They're people who believe in love. And they have detached from their more base worldly nature to believe in love. And they've offered love to themselves to be bold and brave and confident, to listen to their intuition to guide them, and wanting to be in deep, meaningful relationships. And so the shadowy people are going to try to manipulate people to get in a relationship with them, using the things of the world to tempt people. And other people offer people resources like, insight and understanding, and trying to encourage people to love and believe in themselves and believe in their dreams so that they put an end to making their life about the illusion. It's kind of like if we let our ego run our life, we're not really experiencing life. Life is about, it is emotionally confusing. We're emotionally complex human beings. But are we willing to explore the highs and lows of life? That's high vibe Scorpio energy. I'm willing to explore the highs and lows of life. And other people are like, no, that's confusing. I could get hurt. I don't want to do that. I have this certain way that I like to work together with people, and I like other people to indulge me, and I could be a little more emotionally shallow and superficial. But basically, if you want these things of the world, and I can manipulate you with these things of the world, then we'll live life like that. So, let's go see what the story is. And it could be about the different people that people have in their life. Which person and people are people going, what aspect within themselves are they going to align with? Because depending on what aspect people align with, do I align with having hope and faith and belief in my dreams and loving myself and believing in myself and quit making my life about ego and image and money and trust that I can manifest my dreams into reality and want to really experience life and have deep, meaningful relationships? Or am I going to align with my more worldly nature and align with other people in the world who either I will indulge in their more egoic way of life because I want those things in the world, or am I going to be that person that wants other people to indulge me that way in a relationship because I have those things, and I'm going to emotionally play on their fear and their insecurity and their codependency? So we have the Death card, which came out because of the Temperance card. In High Vibe, the Death card is about, it's kind of like these are two like universe cards. It's kind of like the divine trying to tell people that if you don't detach from some old ways of being and balance out your emotions and start listening to your intuition, you're going to be left behind. Other people are willing to emotionally detach from some old ways of being, and they have balanced out their strong emotions, and they're transforming their life. And you're going to be stuck repeating an old pattern of a way of thinking about yourself or living your life or the type of people you hang out with or the type of relationships you get in if you're not willing to balance out your emotions. And the Temperance card is Sagittarius energy, which is about higher learning and education. And there's some people that are like, no, I refuse to do it. They're like in non life giving energy. I refuse to change. I refuse to wrap my brain around this game of life. It's like, I want things to stay the way they've always been or the way I like them. I refuse to change. It's like, okay, well, there's going to be people that are probably going to detach from those type of people, because when you're in a relationship with someone who's kind of in shadowy energy, kind of either immature and indulgent or prideful and egotistical or lazy, or think for some reason they should be indulged in a relationship where it's not just and fair, where they grow up and mature themselves, other people get tired of just trying to balance out their emotions about being in a relationship with them. And eventually those people are like, I'm done. You know? There's nothing new to learn here. That's what death energy is about. It's stagnant, it's stale. I've tried to maybe motivate and inspire you to be nurturing and loving and supportive and encouraging, but we can't make other people face their own fears or insecurities or self-limiting beliefs or deal with their past pain and heartbreak that make them act that way. We can't make people grow up, you know? And people show us in relationships with their free will choices, and eventually people are like, I'm done. I'm no longer going to try to work things out with you anymore. I'm going to move on. And sometimes I think that's the best thing we can do, because if you're indulging somebody who keeps showing you that they're not willing to be more balanced with you, they're never willing to temper their fears, their insecurities, their prideful, egotistical, self-centered, or immature ways of being. Well, if you keep indulging them and balancing out your emotions about who they are and how they are, shadowy Scorpio, they don't have to be a Scorpio sun sign, it's just how people harness this energy. It can be people who have very black and white thinking. This is right, that's wrong. I refuse to look at life any differently. They can become intimidating and controlling in a relationship. They can become like a private detective in a relationship, And it's just like, I'm done. I'm done trying to balance out my emotions about you. I'm moving on. And that might be just the thing that some people need to give them the wake-up call, Because as long as I have someone indulging them, I don't have to change. So then, and what shadowy people are doing, they're trying to put an end to other people's balance. If I want you to indulge me, I need you like equally out of balance. If I'm going to be in my shadow nature and you're like maintaining balance and not indulging me, I'm going to do something to try to get you out of balance. So either you're in the same energy that I'm in, or you'll indulge me in my poor behavior. I might even end a relationship with you to try to control and manipulate you. So next, we have these two cards, which came out because of the Empress energy. Shadowy people harness shadowy Libra Taurus energy. They're either all about money and materialism, and they don't want to balance things out and be just and fair in a relationship, or work with other people who harness high vibe Empress energy. And that, again, it's a feminine figure, so it talks about our emotional state. Doesn't matter if you're male or female. If they have been in a relationship with people who are loving, and Libra is represented by the scales of justice, Taurus energy and high vibe is people who act with character and integrity and like know their worth and value. And it's like, I'm not going to indulge you in your poor behavior. You know, this needs to be just and fair. You need to put an end to some ways of being. This is not all about you. This is not about the scales being tipped in your favor. And when some people realize that they can't intimidate or control people, and people have learned to love and believe in themselves, and they're not indulging them, some of those people are like, yep, this relationship, I'm ending it. Because I don't want to be in a relationship with people who want me to like grow up and mature myself. I want to be in a relationship with people who indulge me. So this could be how different people are going to move forward. For some people, you've already ended a relationship like this, and you've both moved on, harnessing your Empress energy different. The Empress energy is kind of about, what emotionally do I want to give birth to next? High vibe people want it to be about love and justice and truth and fairness. And other people might want it to be about money and materialism and being indulged. Shadowy people don't want other people to know that they harness these energies in a shadowy way. They're trying to present themselves as being a just and fair and loyal and committed and stable pillar of society type of person. But really, behind the scenes, they emotionally manipulate people and are defensive. And they're really probably defensive to other people emotionally manipulating them. And that's why they act this way. They've probably been emotionally manipulated by other people in their life, and they never wrap their brain around it. And so instead, it made them emotionally defensive and in their ego. And then it's like, well, if that's how the game is played, well, then I'm going to be the person who gets to be the privileged person in the relationship, and it has to be more about me. For some, they're just emotionally manipulative, defensive people and think they should be the center of attention. They also don't want people to know that maybe the reason why a relationship in the past didn't work out is because they harness these energies in a shadowy way. They harness shadowy Cancer, shadowy Gemini. I've aligned with my more shadowy nature. I use my emotions manipulatively to get people to work together with me, and then I'm defensive to giving birth to anything new. I want it to be all about me indulging myself in a relationship. And what they don't want people to know is that people who harness high vibe Cancer, high vibe Libra Taurus, high vibe Gemini left a relationship and being in a relationship with them because those people wanted to work together with people who operate from a foundation of love and truth, justice, fairness, loyalty, character, and integrity. And they're like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be just and fair. I want the scales of justice tipped in my favor. Or I didn't know if I stayed in that job or that relationship or whatever, if I was going to get the money and the status and the image that I want. And that's more what drives and motivates them in the world. And you high vibe people, you cut those shadowy people out of your life. It's like, no, I'm not going to stay in a relationship with people who are trying to emotionally manipulate the truth and trying to emotionally manipulate me. And then we have the Four of Pentacles and the Two of Swords. And they kind of flipped kind of in the middle of the deck, so we have two clarifiers as to why these two came out. And it has to do because of the Eight of Swords and the Queen of Cups. Some people hold back from listening to their intuition. Why would some people hold back from listening to their intuition? Because they're fearful of love. They've probably offered love to people before and it didn't work out. So now it's like, no, I don't trust my intuition anymore. I went towards someone before to get in a relationship and it didn't work out. Well, welcome to the human race. I mean, we've all gotten in relationships with people that it didn't work out. The whole thing is we're supposed to learn from those relationships to get more clear about what our truth is. What wasn't I seeing about the person I went to go get in a relationship with? Was I not acknowledging that they could be fearful, they could be selfish, they could be greedy, they could be people who hold back, they don't open up, they don't freely give of themselves, that they're fearful of listening to their intuition, that they could have even just wanted to get in a relationship because someone else held back from them and they felt stuck and they were in a mental prison, so they wanted to get, to go through all the possibilities of why a relationship didn't work out. How did we contribute to that relationship not working out? We've got to see the truth about that too. Sometimes people can get in a relationship and they hold on too tight. And they don't listen to their intuition, and they get all caught up in their head and their fears and their insecurities, and then they just think that people are just supposed to keep indulging them when they hold on too tight, when, they make decisions not listening to their intuition, but they get up in their head, up in their fear and in their insecurities and, go run wild. And it's just like, oh my God, chillax. So instead of listening to their intuition, they could be people who just go all up in their head. It's like they lack discipline about tempering their own thoughts, but they might be people who are used to living more from their mind than their heart. And they think, that that's kind of what they love. No, I'm smart. I'm bright. I can figure this out, and really their intuition is probably trying to tell them, how about you offer yourself some love to talk yourself off the edge and quit getting all up in your head, and how about you loosen up and maybe be willing to open up a little bit and go with the flow. But some people can be so afraid. I kind of look at the Eight of Swords as being afraid of love, because there's a maximum of 10 in every suit, and if you're 8 swords up in your head, you're really stressed out about 2 cups of love, and fearful of love maybe. And they overthink the whole thing. And instead of listening to their intuition, it's like, no, I gotta, and that can be a thing of like, I'm gonna try to control this, my fears are bubbling up, and instead of listening to my intuition and, about the people I might be in a relationship with who might want to hold on to me, who are loving me, oh my God, I'm so afraid of being hurt, then their shadowy nature comes out, and it kind of sabotages a relationship for some of them. For some, for others, they're just selfish and greedy, and they're shadowy Capricorn, shadowy Libra energy. I don't want to see the truth that it should be about love. I have fear of love. I think it makes practical, logical sense that I should love the world, love my worldly nature, make my life either about indulging myself in whatever I want to indulge myself in, or make my life about money and materialism. I'm sure I'll be happy. And again, they don't want to see the truth. They might even have people in their life who play on their fear and their insecurity, because, who are we hanging out with? Who's influencing us? If there's people in the world that are happy that we're not going to give birth to anything new, we're not going to go live our life any differently than they're living their life. Perfect. They might have people in their life that they view as loving, a mother figure, a Scorpio. And again, Scorpio energy can be someone that we feel a deep emotional connection with. And they could have people in their life who try to instill fear and insecurity. I don't know. I don't think you should move forward with those people. I don't know. I think those people might hurt you. I don't think those, and why do other people in people's lives do that? Either to feel a sense of power, because some of these people are people that can't even be in a romantic relationship with them. They're like a sibling or a parent or a friend. But I don't want you to give birth to anything new. I don't want you to bring your dreams into reality when I'm stuck back here living my life, maybe in an emotionally shallow relationship where, I settled for being in a relationship more for money or status or image. I don't want you to give birth to your dreams and I'd feel bad about my life, I don't want you to be loyal to other people. Your loyalty should be to me, whether that's a friend group or a family members or whatever. And then they kind of play on their fear and their insecurity. And then there could be other people who it's like, oh no, don't love and believe in yourself, because then I want you to indulge me in a relationship. So I'm going to try to stop you and get you up in your head and confused about your truth to try to get you to keep living life the way you've done it. Let those people go. Put an end to those people. Let them go. You should be in a relationship with me. Let's make our life more about the world. Money and materialism and status and image or indulgence. I don't want to have to face any of my fears or insecurities or grow and mature myself. And I could have been in a relationship with people who wanted me to do that. And I don't want to do that. So I'm coming back here to try to get you to let go of the people you're in a relationship with where you could give birth to something new in the world. And I'm going to try to stop you. I'm going to try to make you hold on to me. I'm going to get you all up in your head about moving forward with those people. We'll come back and read this through for the high vibe people in a minute. Then we have the Seven of Wands, the Chariot, and a card not showing itself. Yeah. Some people were in relationships where it could have been a perfectly fine relationship. It looked like their dreams were going to come into reality. And then someone from someone's past, could be a Leo, it could be their own shadow nature of fear and insecurity, or other people in their life, maybe that they've known from childhood, who said, you should put an end to this, don't move forward in this. You should align with me. And so I'm trying to say, we always kind of make it about other people, but it happens within people first. We all could go out in the world and be tempted by things in the world, and we can all get caught up in our head. We all know if we probably wanted to go cheat in our relationships right now, we could go out in the world and go find someone to cheat with, I'm saying that someone else is just showing maybe something that was already there. The divine knows the hearts of people. The divine knows if people aren't ready to move to the next phase of life. And some of these people were in relationships or are in relationships where the people they're in relationship with are ready for the next phase of life. And the divine knows that the other person isn't. And they also have a lot of fear about that because it requires them to maybe be more authentic and vulnerable in a relationship and work together with people in a more deep, meaningful relationship. And some people are like, I gotta stop this. I have fear. I'm in shadowy Leo, can be I'm in my ego. And then that's when the other people in the world who represent their shadow energy basically in the world come in and do their pushing their buttons and their fear and their insecurity and their lust and their greed and their immature indulgent nature. And they're like, you're right, I should hang out with you instead. I should be loyal to you. I should let them go. And it was really the divine's way of using a person's own fear and insecurity from stopping them from moving forward with people in life. So they became defensive to the Chariot energy, which is represented by Cancer energy, I'm going to be defensive to moving forward in victory, in an emotionally balanced, loving, nurturing relationship and family, possibly. Because, again, Seven of Wands, like the Queen of Wands. Oops, I'll turn down the camera here. Pointing at a card here. The Queen of Wands and the Seven of Wands are both Leo energy. I'm defensive to stepping outside my comfort zone. I'm defensive to maybe being in an equally balanced, loving relationship. For some of these people, that would have been new territory. It was going into unknown territory where they could have felt more vulnerable for some. Other people had an opportunity to move forward with someone who could have experienced an ending in their life, and they could have money. And someone who was in a relationship that they had been holding on to and maybe listening to their intuition about suddenly was like, huh, there's someone in a mental prison because they experienced an ending in their life, an ending of some type of relationship, and they have money. I love money. Maybe instead of moving forward with these people, maybe I should go get in a relationship with that person and defend that person, because then I could move forward with that person where I don't have to step outside my comfort zone. I don't have to deal with my fears or my insecurities. I can like start from ground zero, and I could maybe by worldly standards, in a more shadowy view of the Chariot card, is that, I can use my emotions manipulatively to still look like I'm victorious and successful in the world. I'm just not doing it from a place of love. And why would some people do that? Because really they didn't want to give birth to anything new. They could be people who are kind of like to be in more emotionally shallow, superficial relationships where they can use their emotions more manipulatively in a relationship. And then they could be people who don't want to see the truth, that they could be kind of selfish and greedy and a little prideful and egotistical or fearful and insecure. And, a relationship's a relationship for some people. Shadowy Scorpio could just be like, I'm going to have sex with someone. I could move forward with these people, but then I got to grow and mature myself. I have to put an end to my illusions of love, that it should be just more about me and my wants and my needs and my lust and my greed. I'd actually have to be more bold and brave and confident. So I think I'll go get in a relationship with these people where I don't have to do that work, and I can have all the things of the world that I want. And so they weren't willing to be patient. If they had some hope and faith and belief, and maybe they don't have hope and faith and belief that they could manifest their dreams into reality, living their life the way they were, or in the job that they were, or the profession that they really love, or the people that they could have worked with or been in relationship with. They wanted what they wanted now, and that's kind of our worldly shadowy nature. I want what I want now. And they put an end to being patient, and they kind of got caught up in their emotional nature of thinking it's just and fair to be more about me and the things that I want, and I don't want to see the truth. And I also maybe don't want other people to see the truth of why I didn't move forward with certain people and why I chose to move forward with other people. And the reason could be what they're hiding is that they harness this energy in a shadowy way, because it has to do with their underlying philosophy of life. They could just be more motivated and inspired by the world instead of really being like having hope and faith and belief in themselves and in love. The Moon card. So, the Moon card and the Knight of Cups is Pisces energy. I think some people had really been in maybe like an encouraging, supportive workplace, but they didn't believe in themselves, or they got offered a better gig, more money, and it's like, I'll quit the job that I really love or the relationship I really love, and I'm going to go invest in my more worldly, egoic nature, which means I'm going to go emotionally invest in other people in the world. The Queen of Wands can mean the other man, other woman. And what I'm hiding is that before I could have been moving forward in my Pisces energy and the Knight of Cups, but now I'm trying to create the illusion that that's what I'm doing. But the moon can talk about I'm creating an illusion that it's love. So I'm trying to, I don't want people to see the truth that I might be fearful and insecure, or I'm selfish and I'm kind of greedy, and I might be more about myself than other people. And so I'm going to say that it was all for love that I did this. Now, a different way this could be read is there could be people where a relationship ended with someone that they really did want to balance things out with, but because they could have held back from listening to their intuition, the people that they were in a relationship with could have ended the relationship with them, and they went and got new relationships. And what do we do when that happens? Do we, well, you know, if we weren't willing to make a decision because we could have had some fears about some things, maybe we would have had to stand up for the person we love. Maybe, the Hierophant can mean all these things in the world, like organizations, institutions, religion, all that stuff. Some people could have been in a loving relationship, but they had inner conflict about, because maybe they could have been a phase in their life where they were more focused on putting work and effort into getting themselves, say, established in the world and having a solid foundation. And if they were in a relationship with someone who wanted to move forward, maybe in a relationship or a marriage, and they didn't feel like they had that foundation yet, and they could have kind of hemmed and hawed a little bit, someone else could have moved on. And some of those people could have been hiding that there was someone in their past that they loved it could have been, they kind of felt stuck because if the other person moved on in a relationship, even though they might have wanted to hold on to them, if they go get in another relationship because we didn't make the decision to get in a relationship with them, and they could have felt kind of stuck, well, then other people come into our life, right? And they could have had someone who came into their life, and then there's that problem like, oh my gosh, do I move forward with you? I can't wait forever. Some people could have gotten in a new relationship, and right now they're in that new relationship, and the person that they're in a relationship now wants them to move forward. And some of those people could feel like, I feel like if I do this, I'd be ignoring my intuition, because that's what the Pisces moon card could be. So they're holding back from moving forward in a new relationship because, I don't know, maybe feeling like, would this be in alignment with my truth? If I did move forward with them, by worldly standards, it would seem like I have it all. But I might put an end to my dream of, again, it makes practical, logical sense with the King and Queen of Pentacles. But I might be putting an end to a dream if the person they could currently be in a relationship with, and we are talking about Aries energy here, and Aries is fire sign energy, they could get in a relationship and be in a relationship with someone right now where it seems really practical, grounded, supportive, encouraging, all those things, but it maybe doesn't really seem to be a counterpart match to their own energy. It's kind of like maybe they're having to kind of tone down their own more creative, inspired nature to be in a relationship with people who might be more practical and grounded in a way. And for some, those people, we can't keep waiting, right? And we can't, some of those people could really be giving a lot of thought to their intuition. And, well, they're going to experience some bad karma. The whole thing is we don't want to act out of pride and ego. That if you're going to move forward in a relationship, if you haven't completely detached in the past, it'd be good to let those people know, I think. Some people might realize that I feel like if I move forward with the people I'm in a relationship with, I'd be hiding that it was more of an illusion. And I need to free myself from my more egoic nature, and I need to do some work within myself to love and believe in myself. And if my intuition is telling me I need to stop the relationship I have been moving forward with because I'm repeating a pattern, and I don't want to just be in a relationship where I'm repeating a pattern. I want to be in relationships with people who motivate and inspire me to be creative and inspired and grow and mature myself to my full potential. And if others of them are like, I moved on, this relationship seems to be wonderful, and I'm not willing to let go of it, and I might be ignoring my intuition, I think eventually the relationship is going to either end or make them feel backstabbed and betrayed. Because if other people that they're in a relationship with are intuitive, they might realize that this person's heart really isn't in it, and then they won't want to be in the relationship. If their intuition is telling them that the person they're in a relationship with maybe doesn't have their best interest at heart, wants them to stay in the relationship for the ego or the image or the status or the money and materialism, if someone else comes along that has more status or image, they're going to end the relationship anyway. If a relationship isn't based on love, odds are high it won't last. And if people aren't in the relationship for the right reasons, them or the other person, really, do we want to be in relationships and stay in career fields where we feel like we're backstabbing ourselves every day, or in relationships with other people who are backstabbing us? I think some high vibe people ended a relationship or had a relationship end on them, whichever the case. And what people in their life didn't know was that they do love and believe in themselves. And they were willing to hold back from people in their life who maybe could have been prideful, egotistical, manipulative, whatever. And they really took time to listen to their intuition and work through their fears and insecurities about moving forward. Because again, they could have loved those people. But it's like, I'm not going to keep indulging you in your poor behavior. And they did this work to trust the divine and to stand up for themselves and to get in the driver's seat of their life, meaning I'm going to take the reins of my dualistic nature and I'm going to put in the work and effort to move forward and away from people in my life that either were intimidating or controlling or aren't motivated and inspired by love, could have been self-centered, could have been selfish, could have had a lot of fears and insecurities, whatever it is. I'm not going to stay in something that's an illusion. I'm going to listen to my intuition because I want my divine inheritance. And the only way I can get my divine inheritance is that when my intuition tells me you have been patient enough, you have been loving, you've been encouraging, you've been supportive, all these things. If people keep not like getting out of their ego or their intimidating ways or their, because some of these people could be your adult children or siblings, if they want to keep being that way, which isn't loving, I wish you peace. I'm moving on. I'm staying in the energy of love. I'm holding back from people who don't want to see the truth that they're maybe self centered or immature or indulgent. And even though I love you, you've got to get yourself out of your head that could make you make poor decisions in a relationship. And I'm going to keep standing up for myself and what I believe in and what they don't know about you, because sometimes when people are shadowy, it's hoping that you won't love and believe in yourself, and that you'll get all caught up in your head because you do love them. And even though you might go through a period of holding back from them and stuff like that and standing up for yourself, they're hoping eventually that the moon in shadow can mean that your fears and insecurities stepping forward into unknown territory kind of gets the best of you, and that you decide to quit, put an end to investing in being bold and brave and confident and reconciling yourself with the past, and put an end to your dreams of being in deep, meaningful relationships. And you come back and do the relationship their way, which is stay in the relationship because of the ego and the image and the status, and let me indulge in a relationship with you. And we'll all live more from our mind than our heart, because we've all given up on our dreams, and neither one of us is bold and brave and confident to believe in our dreams anymore, you know? And there could be some people that are doing that, and some of you said, no, I am going to keep putting in the work and effort to learn the lessons I was meant to learn from this life experience. I'm going to take the lessons I've learned in high vibe Capricorn energy that I'm harnessing to free myself from my more shadowy nature and make sure that I do not repeat some poor past patterns of the past, taking action out of my ego or my fear or my insecurity or my codependency or me wanting what I want. I'm going to go with the flow. And I'm going to take the lessons I've learned to listen to my intuition, that to love myself and believe in myself, to become emotionally independent of the past, no longer in my feelings about these people in my past that could have been emotionally manipulative, prideful, egotistical, emotionally shallow, superficial, whatever. And that might have gotten in a new relationship. I'm not my ego about it. I'm not my competitive energy about it. You do you, boo, And I'm moving on. And I'm going to continue to invest in me loving and believing in myself. I've reconciled myself with the past. That's high vibe Leo energy, and Empress energy of love. Love's what heals us. I'm going to offer myself everything I wish they would have given me, so that, and be my best mother, father, coach voice in my head. I'm going to give myself all the things that I wish other people in my life would have given me. I'm going to take some time to hold back from getting maybe in a new relationship, being defensive to like a new relationship and moving forward in a new relationship till I work through emotionally the fact about that I've moved away from people that I thought a dream was going to come into reality with. Some of you have already done that. Some people are just doing that now. And I'm going to take the time in my Six of Swords, Aquarius energy to look at life from a higher perspective and put it in the big picture. I'm probably going to live to be 80 years old. Do I need to get in a relationship this week, this month, this year? No, not really. I need to take some time to love my own worldly foundation, to get clear about my truth and work through my own fears and insecurities. And and wrap my brain around this game of life, because 7 of Wands, I guess that's not Sagittarius energy, but it is not being in your ego and having moved forward and standing up for yourself and what you believe in. And you believe in love over like the establishment, where other people conform to the world and make their life all about that. The Scorpio death card is about transformation. So that Bible verse, don't conform yourself to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. You've done that. And you're ready. And your intuition is telling you you're ready to move forward in a new relationship because you worked through all the things that were hidden. You know, you worked through kind of seeing through the illusion. If there was people in your life that you thought were more stable and grounded and nurturing and loving and bold and brave and confident, you might see the truth that they're not. They're not who they said they were. And that's okay. You've done the work to Scorpio energy, and the death card is about I've emotionally detached from it. And I'm no longer in my illusions about it. And that can be, you know, shadowy Aries energy can kind of be people who think I'm the boss. You don't want to do the relationship my way. I'm going to do all these things, be defensive to you, be intimidating, be manipulative, blah, blah, blah. And if that finally doesn't work, yeah, then I want you to leave. And I bet when you leave or I leave that you'll have fear, whatever, you'll come back and do the relationship with me. And for some of those people, again, they could have gotten in a relationship with someone else. And maybe the people, because, you know, it's kind of like if the divine was providing people with a loving environment and they rejected that, guess who comes up next to bat? The devil. My turn to play. And then, you know, we have lessons to learn. And we're probably going to have some people come into our life that are like, oh, yes, I want to be in a relationship with you. But those people might come into their life and they're not showing either that they have a lot of fears and insecurities, or they're just creating an illusion that they really aren't in the relationship for love. I could be in my ego. I just wanted you to end the relationship with the loving people in your life. I wanted to look like I was the winner. And then once you have ended that relationship and you've defended me and stood up for me in a relationship, yeah, then I'm going to end the relationship because I was really just in it for my ego. I was kind of in my competitive energy. I didn't like that it looked like you were having victory and success and it didn't look like I was, or I didn't like your partner. I don't like how you're in a relationship with them and they're loving and nurturing. I wanted you to pick me over them. And then once you picked me, I'm going to end the relationship because it was really just about me and my ego. And now, some of the people who operated out of ego could feel stuck because they were defensive to the loving people in their life, and those people are no longer an illusion about the truth of who they are. The truth has been revealed that they decided to be more about themselves and money and materialism, and probably went or will get themselves in a different relationship, more for ego and image and status. And it's not going to work out the way they think. For some of them, it already didn't work out the way they thought. So when we align with taking action out of fear, insecurity, pride, ego, selfishness, greed, we're probably going to learn a really hard lesson in life. And they could have thought, I know, if this relationship doesn't work out, because I know that person loves me, and basically I'm counting on the love that they have for me, that I can do all this shit and manipulate them and confuse them about the truth so I can go do whatever the hell I want. And then if that doesn't work out, then I can pop back up in their life and say, stop moving forward. You should get back in a relationship with me. But I haven't changed. I'm still not going to do love. I still haven't grown and matured myself. I'm still trying to emotionally manipulate you. And that's not loving. That's unkind. It's unfair. It's, unjust. And some of the people are like, no, I'm no longer an illusion about who you are. If you didn't put in the work and effort to work with me when I was willing to put in the work and effort, and I was giving it everything I had, well, then apparently, that's what not drives and motivates you. And I saw the truth of it. And then that's the karmic consequences that, and just like some of you who might have had to learn a tough lesson and got in a relationship with people like this, and you didn't choose to invest in other people in the world that you had the opportunity to be in, if you now got out of it and you're communicating with them, way I've learned some lessons in life. I want to move forward with you. Some of those people will be like, no, I've already moved on. You know, and if those people aren't in a solid, stable relationship, or is really not aligned with their truth, some of those people will end that relationship that they might be in to stand up and defend you because they know you are someone who acts with character and integrity and is emotionally balanced and loving. It's just in the past, maybe you were fearful, and maybe there could have been some type of differences, religious background, ethnicity, how you wanted to live your life, high rise versus small town, or whatever. You know, it wasn't something super major like, I don't find you to be a loving, inspiring person I look up to and admire. It was different things, you know. I don't want to get into that. Let's just ask what's coming up right now. High vibe people, if they feel like they've been emotionally manipulated currently or recently, they're holding back from those people and they're listening to their intuition and they're standing up for themselves. And they want to move forward with the people in the world who are the type of people they think are on the same page. If the people they have been moving forward with are on the same page as them, and someone who might have experienced something now would like to hold on to them, they might say, no, why would I do that? You know, I'd be operating out of pride and ego. If, you know, it doesn't matter who the person is. If we're in a relationship with people who are loving and nurturing and emotionally balanced and inspired by love, we have all the ingredients for a victorious, successful relationship, you know, and we would hold back from other people who might come towards us. There could be some shadowy people in people's lives that are coming in to tempt them. You know, if it looks like they're moving on again with another relationship, it's like, oh, wait, no, I'm in my pride and ego. Aren't you going to let go of those people and come back and get in a relationship with me? Some of those people will put an end to the relationship they're in because they've really got some lessons to learn. They're really tempted by someone. I would say more. It reminds them of people from their past because otherwise they wouldn't give up a loving relationship unless the reason they were even moving forward in that relationship wasn't for the right reasons. So, interesting anyway. I guess we're going to see what people stand up for and defend and what they move forward with. What's coming up for high vibe people? The Queen of Wands. Because of the King of Swords. I think you're going to take bold, brave, confident action and speak your truth because you've dealt with people who emotionally manipulated you and were bossy and controlling. You harness high vibe energy of fire and adhere to a higher truth and justice, and you could have been attracted to and had love for some other people who kind of harness shadowy Leo and Libra energy. And you also might have someone who's a counterpart to you communicate to you that they want to move forward with you to get to know you better, or to move forward in a relationship or a workplace commitment, or, you know, people could have been holding back making a decision. I know I just recently kind of got a new job, and so we're at that point now where they're going to decide if we're going to all move forward, and they're going to give me that dollar raise. So, what's coming up for the people in shadowy energy? The Knight, or the Death card, and the Queen of Wands. I have two decks combined together. So, what those people don't see coming, well, for one, they don't see people that they were maybe trying to manipulate in the past or presently, that those people are detaching from them because those people love and believe in themselves. And what they also might not see coming is that if they've kind of been acting in this shadowy way and they've been in a relationship with someone, the person they are in a relationship with is going to be defensive to moving forward with them in a relationship because their intuition is telling them to hold back from this person, that their dreams won't come into reality with them because this person is more driven by money and materialism for some. For other people, what they don't see coming is it could be again that someone who tempts them is coming back around again because they could have ended a relationship. So if they're kind of in shadowy energy and there's someone who has all those things of the world that they want, but they could have had a problem in a relationship because they're both kind of selfish or greedy or fearful or defensive, and they might both like to be the boss in a relationship, and they both like to be the privileged person. And so then if they go get in relationships with other people, you know, one shadowy person is counting on the other person getting in a relationship where people want them to put like in work and effort and to be more just and fair and grow up. And they know this person could have a hard time doing that because they might know they're kind of immature and all that stuff, but they might have the money they want. And it's like, I'm willing to be in a relationship with you. You can be bossy and controlling. I can be in a relationship with you without love. I just want the money and the materialism and the status and the image, and that person might come back round. But then either they'll move forward in a relationship where it's all about money and status and image, or that person is trying to teach them a difficult lesson again. Are you tempted by money and materialism? Let me try to get you out of the next relationship you're out of, to get you to come back and get in a relationship with me because I have those things. And then when you do and you let those people go, then I'm going to backstab you again. How long is it going to take before you're illuminated to the truth that I don't have your best intentions at heart? I'm emotionally shallow, superficial, and prideful and egotistical. Why are you tempted to be in a relationship with me? And some people so badly don't want to see the truth that they could be driven and motivated more by money and materialism and status and image, that they stay in denial that that's why they're even drawn and attracted to a certain person maybe in their life, or it doesn't require them to grow up and mature themselves. And it's going to happen over and over. If any of you have gotten in a relationship with someone where it seems like you keep going back over and over, it's kind of like you're addicted to them. I know I had one of those relationships in my early 20s. And, eventually it's just kind of like, oh my gosh, I have, why are we so drawn and attracted to them? Because we have a lot of life lessons to learn from them. Because it might be, always hoping that people will change and they don't change, and they keep being immature and impulsive or whatever, but it's fun to be in a relationship with them. But it's like, oh my gosh, they're never going to change. And sometimes it's seeing the truth that if I want to be in loving relationships, I have got to stop being patient with people like this, and I need to do all this work within myself to love myself, so I no longer get caught up in illusion. And the moon and the Knight of Cups can be get caught up in illusion, romantic illusions. And it's like, we do kind of have to be practical and grounded. Are people grown up and mature? If you show me you're immature and impulsive, yeah, later, been there. Are you prideful and egotistical? Yeah, later, I've been there. Are you kind of manipulative and controlling? Bye. you know, just depends on how much life experience you've had. So I think if people were trying to intimidate and control people, some of those people will be shocked. Those people have moved on. They did love and believe in themselves, and they could be having a new beginning with other people who are bold and brave enough to be just and fair and open and honest and loving in a relationship. And they might now have to settle and go be their emotionally shallow, superficial self to maybe go manipulate someone else in the world. Because you learned the lesson you were meant to learn from them. So there you go, Aries. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.